Yeah, they scream again. We ain't listening. They said the sky was falling when he walked through the door. Called him every name in the book and still wanted more. While they're out there hugging terrorists and opening up the gate, he's building that wall and making America great. They cry about democracy dying every single night, but the only thing dying is their grip on power and their appetite for a fight. Keep the faith, America, he's keeping us safe. While the left keeps cheering for the bad guys night and day. They hate the flag, they hate the fight, they hate the red, white, and blue. But Trump's in the White House saying, not on my watch, not on my crew. So keep the faith, America, stand tall and stand true. He's fighting for you, and I'm fighting right there with you too. They want open borders, they want crime in the street. They want your money, your guns, and your God under their feet. They'll fund every protest, every riot, every clown, while American families watch their cities burning down. They scream defund the police, then call 911. Hypocrites in designer clothes, having way too much fun. Keep the faith, America, he's keeping us safe. While the left keeps cheering for the bad guys night and day. They hate the flag, they hate the fight, they hate the red, white, and blue. But Trump's in the White House saying, not on my watch, not on my crew. So keep the faith, America, stand tall and stand true. He's fighting for you, and I'm fighting right there with you too. They call him a dictator while they censor what you say. They scream about fascism, but they're the ones taking rights away. They love every tyrant from Tehran to Beijing, long as that tyrant hates America and everything we believe. They'll tax you to death and spend it all on their schemes, while red states are thriving and living the American dream. Yeah, they can call us deplorable, call us every name in the book, but we're the ones paying the taxes and carrying the flag while they look. So go ahead and riot, go ahead and scream. We're over here keeping the faith, living the dream. Keep the faith, America, he's keeping us safe. While the left keeps cheering for the bad guys night and day. They hate the flag, they hate the fight, they hate the red, white, and blue. But Trump's back in the saddle, doing what real leaders do. So keep the faith, America, stand tall and stand true. He's fighting for me, fighting for you. Yeah. Keep the faith, America. We're still here, and we ain't going nowhere. From the dusty sands of Iraq to the Holy Land shore, we stood tall against the tyrants, settling the score. Flying over the desert, fighting for what's right, waving old glory under that desert night.
Terror's got no place in this world we defend. With our allies in Israel, brothers to the end.
Oh, make America great, like Trump always said. Pro-conservative values from heart to head, and a terror and a commie and a lunacy too. Pro-America, pro-flag, red, white, and true, standing strong with Israel, hand in hand we fight for freedom and faith under God's own light. Saddam's regime crumbled, we brought the light of day. No more hiding in shadows, we pay freedom's way. Trump knew the deal with walls and bold calls, kept the radicals running, built those embassy walls. Our bond with Israel, unbreakable chain against Hamas and hatred, we weather the rain. The socialists spinning their lies, or the crazies dividing with their wild-eyed cries. We honor our heroes, the ones who gave all for family, for country, answering the call. Trump led the charge with grit and with grace, keeping our nation in its rightful place. From Baghdad to Jerusalem, the eagle soars high with stars on our banner, touching the sky. We'll never back down, no surrender inside.
Pro-Trump, pro-values, we'll win this fight. Oh, make America great, like Trump always said. Pro-conservative values from heart to head, and our terror and our commie and our lunacy too. Pro-America, pro-flag, red, white, and true, standing strong with Israel, hand in hand we fight for freedom and faith.
Forever inside.
My microphone here. Okay, guys, so I'm here. I've already got all the screens taken up, but I am here in the studio, and this is the Sights and Sounds of Earth. A quick programming note: tomorrow night I will be starting at 9:30, and Friday night I will be starting at 9:30. All right, so tonight, however, we're starting at 9 o'clock. Well, here's what we got. We got two different protests going on that we're monitoring right now. And the top three protests, the top three that you're seeing there, are in front of the Collin County Courthouse. Apparently, this is where Collin County jury has sentenced Carmelo Anthony to 35 years in prison after he was found guilty of murder in the fatal stabbing, might as well be, of 17-year-old Memorial High School student Austin Metcalf during a high school track meet in Fresno, Texas. Anthony broke down in tears and was shaking as the verdict was read Tuesday afternoon, and he was immediately taken into custody, of course. I believe he was already in custody. The case immediately moved into sentencing phase, with Anthony's mother as the sole witness called to the stand to implore the judge to impose a lenient punishment on her son. "Please have mercy on my son," Kyla Hayes said, as you could see her mascara running down her face. "He's my oldest, my firstborn, my baby. I love him so much." Yeah, well, what about the person he killed? That was somebody's firstborn baby, too. Metcalf's twin brother, Hunter, was in the courtroom the first time. Metcalf's mother was crying and hugging supporters. Jurors were then tasked with determining Anthony's sentence, in which they decided Metcalf's stabbing was not in sudden passion, which would have capped his potential prison sentence to 20 years. He ultimately faces the possibility of up to 99 years in prison. In other words, this is just shy of a death sentence. Meaning, if you get sentenced to 99 years, in most states, that's not a life sentence, and therefore you're eligible in 20 years or whatever, you can begin to go to parole hearings and try to get paroled. The verdict followed days of emotional testimony from students, athletes, police officers, forensic experts, and coaches who described the confrontation that ended with Metcalf's death at the Kai Kendall Stadium on April 2nd, 2025. The verdict was reached just 3 hours after jurors were sent to deliberate. Generally speaking, in a murder trial, if the jury comes back really early, it's guilty. The longer a jury stays in deliberation, the better it is for the defendant. Generally speaking, but especially for murder trials. Anthony, who was 17 at the time, admitted he stabbed Metcalf, but claimed he acted in self-defense. Okay, the other guy didn't have a weapon. So the self-defense doesn't really work here. Okay, these people were of equal size. They were in an area where there was plenty of people around. And it was a heated argument, and he pulled out a knife and stabbed him. That's the bottom line. Somehow that's self-defense in some people's eyes. I don't know. As the verdict was being read, more than 100 protesters, and you can see them across the top three screens and the bottom left. Hundreds of protesters split between supporters of Metcalf and supporters of Anthony descended on the courthouse, and at least one protester was taken into custody after a fight broke out in response to the guilty verdict. Donna Rotondo, a criminal defense attorney and Fox News contributor, said on the story after the verdict was announced Tuesday that she does not think Anthony will be sentenced to the maximum. Anthony is likely to get at least 20 years in prison. And that's about what he's going to get, because, you get 35, 40 years, you're probably going to serve a half to 2/3 is usually in that window. And he'll get a chance to, go to parole, try to get paroled and things like that. All right, so that's what's going on there, and we are watching to see if this escalates tonight or if this de-escalates. You're probably asking, what are they rioting over? It's a court case. A jury of his peers found him guilty. So what are they rioting? What are they protesting? They're not rioting. What are they protesting? What are they protesting? Well, the black people think he's innocent, and the white people think he's guilty. Yes, it's a race thing. The Democrats are out there stoking the fire. They're out there, it's a race thing, it's a race thing. It's not a race thing. It's not a race thing. It could have been the other way around, But in this case, White guy and a black guy get into a verbal altercation. Black guy pulls out a knife and stabs him to death. It could have been the other way around. It doesn't matter what the races were. Doesn't matter. A man killed another man. That's homicide. That's murder. We don't allow it. So I don't know what that has to do with the verdict. All these people, because they're of a certain race, are convinced that he's innocent. And all these people, because they're a certain race, are all convinced he's guilty. What have we done as a society to ourselves that this is the case now? That everything comes down to race. Everything comes down to race. Yeah, I don't like 35 years because he's only going to serve 25 probably. Yeah, the truth is, Matt, if it was the other way around, we would never even have heard of it. Unless you live in Texas, you probably wouldn't even have heard of it. Think about it. This kind of shit happens all the time. Why do we hear about this one? Well, because the black people think the black kid's innocent and the white people think the white kid is innocent. And so that's where we're at. It sucks. Let's see if we can pick up a little bit of natural sound here. I want to start with this asshole here that's talking. Let's see what he's talking about.
Fucking complicit, obviously. They're literally Nazis, and so is Geo Group.
I'd love to see you all dance like this up in the sand, you punks. Yeah, keep on dancing. Yeah. Hey, I want to see you dance exactly like that in front of a judge. I want to see you dance exactly like that in front of a judge. Oh, buddy, it's going to be the funniest shit I've ever seen when I see you pissing your pants as soon as you're going down that aisle. I hope
Do you Nazis want to hear a joke?
I hope
You Nazis want to hear a joke? Hello? Do you Nazis want to hear a joke? Anyone? I want to hear a verbal confirmation from one of these Nazis. Do I hear a joke?
you can wear those Oakleys
Yes.
in your trial.
Yes, baby?
Yeah.
All right, the right ear is New Jersey. The left ear is what's going on outside the courthouse there in Texas.
We see you in the window.
Doesn't matter too much. Yeah, bro. No, come on, keep on dancing. With that good shit. No, come on, brother. Keep on going, Officer Oakley.
Nazis
Come
can't dance for
on. You being bashful now? Come on, dude. You put on those Oakleys so we can't see those pretty blues, right? So we can't see those beautiful, beautiful eyes that an inmate is gonna see and want you immediately. Yeah, bro. I hope you do well in the showers. Don't drop the soap.
Are you
I
doing
can't
fucking
wait to see those eyes cry like
lame?
Kyle Rittenhouse, motherfucker. Oh, brother. Hey, you know your boss is a pedophile, right? You know your boss is a pedophile, right? How does that feel? Tell your kids that? Tell your kids you work for a pedophile? I wouldn't leave him alone with Trump. Yeah. Your kids know what
So
to
that's
do.
what's going on out there. We'll come back to that in just a few minutes. We are still out at Delaney Hall. That's the center one on the left. That's the center one on the left. That's Delaney Hall. We are still out there. That is, it's again not very big today. I think the left is just about protested out. I think they've about had it. And besides, remember, when they're bussing them out there, you'll see a few hundred of them, but when they're not bussing them out there, you're down to just the 40 or 50 freaks. I mean, there is a guy talking out there, but...
Disgraceful. For the rest of the time, you will be remembered as a disgrace.
But it's just drivel and nonsense. Anyway, all right, so let's see what else is going on. I told you... What's wrong, Mama? Did you say something? You want to go on and talk? No? God, she's shy. Anyway, what? What's wrong, baby girl? Okay, so let's take a look at the weather. We're watching 4 storm chasers. Man, look at that storm on that second one down. Brandon Kopic Got a great shot on this thing from the side. And you can see him right here. He is right here on this one. Let's get a local radar. Oh, there's one right nearby. There we go. There he is right there. He's looking right down the side of this thing. Look at this. They're issuing tornado warnings on this, but I think it's going to be more of a derecho type thing. You can see the gust front out in front of it. Look at that. I mean, that's pretty amazing right there. You can kind of see you can see this line of wind out in front of the radar. You see that? Oh, jeez. And so that's indicative of some pretty strong straight line winds that are going to be moving along with the storm like that. And so you could see 50 to 75 mile an hour winds. All right, we do have one radar. There we go. There's a J hook. I can see that right there. Look at that. There's your J hook right there and your inflow. Now let's switch over to the other radar, and boom, there it is. See, look at that. Doesn't matter which one you look at, you can find those tornadoes. They're right there. And let's see, our tower site is to the north. So the green is moving towards the tower site, and the red is moving away from the tower site, and your center of rotation is right there. Isn't that amazing? Meteorology just amazes me. These tools that we have today. I remember back when, this is crazy, but when I was a kid, you only saw the radar twice a day, maybe. And that was 6:13, and during the weather segment, and 11, about 10 minutes after 11, they would do weather at night, and that was it. When I was under 10, that's all the weather we had in this town. That's the only time you got to see the radar, unless there was a severe thunderstorm warning or something, and then they would pop in and they would put a crawler, or they would break into programming. But we didn't have the availability of just things that we, radars that we could just see. We didn't even have that back then. So I think it's so neat how to have all these tools and be able to watch the storm chasers live. The whole thing's just really cool. I love virtual storm chasing, which is what I call this. Let's see this thing form up. Yep, there we go. We've got a couplet moving across. Went right over Cope. Right north of Chetwynd, and it's going to go north of Bud and just south of Province. Province might be in the rotation. As far as a larger town, it's going to pass south of Bargersville. Hopefully the center of rotation looks like it's going to say south of Bargersville. However, Hopewell, you are right in the line of fire on this one. So Providence and Hopewell. And then once we get through Providence and Hopewell, we've got Franklin, which is a little bit bigger metro back over here. And this thing is going to track probably maybe just north of Franklin. But Franklin should be in the preparation stages. And there's that woman. She pops up every night. Don't know who she is. Don't care. My God. Yeah, I saw that go through up there. It was pretty bad, Carlotta. Yep, I don't know who that woman is, but she has a special deal with YouTube, let me tell you. Boy, they're protesting like crazy in Albania. All right, I got that one. Okay, I got that one. I I will say these leftists have some of the weakest, cheapest protests in the world, which is probably a good thing, but I've never seen anything like it. Because yeah, it's the left. It is what it is. I don't know. I think my biggest problem with these protests is I don't know what's the goal supposed to be. Where are they supposed to go with this whole thing? I just don't. I don't think I understand. What do they expect? I mean, that's why when they're out there trying to shame those ICE agents, I'm like, do they really think that they're going to literally like talk those ICE agents into quitting their job? Is that what they think? That they're going to literally be able to talk those ICE, say, "Hey, quit. Go kill yourself." They were saying the stupidest shit the other day. I couldn't believe it. Just absolutely ignorant shit. All right, so the top views and the bottom left view is the courthouse there in Texas, where we just had the verdict come in, 35 years guilty. And then the one in the center left is that's BG on the scene, and he's there every night doing on scene journalism, and I really appreciate it. Oh, it's this guy again. Well, that's just great. Yeah, well, there's not a lot of trolls to go around, apparently. It's kind of a dying art. It's just such a childish thing to do, and I think a lot of people have just kind of fallen out of favor with it because it just doesn't. First of all, the first thing about trolling is it doesn't ever accomplish anything. Unless your goal is to get the guy upset, and you come in and you troll him and you can get him upset, I guess then maybe in your little pea mind you've won. I don't know. But that's what the leftists do. They have no argument. They have no high ground. Okay? When it comes to morals and things like that, they're always on the losing end. They always back the bad guys. They always have the bad policy. And so when they troll, they can't even troll with logic or information. They can't even bring the receipts because literally they have nowhere to come from. It's kind of crazy. You know, Trey and I had an interesting conversation on air about 2 weeks ago where I said, you know, do you realize how happy I am that I'm on the right? I couldn't imagine being this politically passionate like I am and be on the left where I have to defend crazy, basically, where I have to go out every day and be the reason on top of the crazy cake. So I like it. Being a conservative's great because when we debate, I always win debates. You want to know why? Because I have the moral high ground. I have the political high ground. And I have the intellectual high ground. That's all you need. You can win any argument if you know what you're talking about. And that's where a lot of these trolls, they're just uneducated. They just come in and say the stupidest things. And the first thing they'll try to convince you is they're not on the left. If you're not, why would you come in here and troll this channel unless you're a leftist socialist? Why would you do that? Unless you hate this country, why would you come in and troll a patriotic channel like mine? And the answer is because you're on the left, and this is your little contribution to y'all's big shit show that's going on. I have no idea if Trump got booed last night. I was on the air with you guys. I didn't watch any of it. I don't watch sports, and I don't care. Trump always gets booed. Trump always gets cheered. What does that mean even? half this country hates him, and half this country loves him. Actually, a little more than half the country loves him, if you want to get technical. You're a Lincoln Project guy? See, you're a leftist. The Lincoln Project is off the deep end leftist. Matter of fact, they shouldn't be allowed to call themselves the Lincoln Project, because Lincoln was a Republican. Lincoln was on the right side of history, just like we are. When you talk about the bad guys, they're always on the left. The Ku Klux Klan, all the different bad guys over time. You know, the left always embraces the bad guys. The right embraces, generally speaking, the good guys. The Lincoln Project, Lincoln was a Republican. The Lincoln Project has become a deep blue 501c organization. Terrible. So that makes a lot of sense. I don't know what's more surprising, that you're in the Lincoln Project or that you admit to other people that you're in the Lincoln Project. Hey Heath, what's up, man? Tom's Prepper. And hey Sanguine, how's it going? Yeah, look, the booing was planned. It is what it is. Trump gets the biggest ovations, the biggest crowds, the biggest cheers of any president ever. So I don't care about that. That doesn't bother me at all. No, the Lincoln Project doesn't like the right. Let's be straight up. The Lincoln Project doesn't like anybody on the right. They don't like anything that the right does. They've become a left-wing shill. That's just what they are. Yes, that's correct. Yes, the Republican Party was started by Lincoln, and one of the biggest reasons was to put an end to slavery once and for all. The Democrats defended slavery right till the end. The Lincoln Project, it's basically what the Lincoln Project has become is basically like a grifting operation. They're just never Trumpers. They don't care. He could cure cancer. They'll lay there and die. Because the ego and the ignorance is far bigger than reality or truth. The Lincoln Project's one of the most dishonest, hypocritical, and repulsive political organizations in modern history. Founded in 2019 by a gang of washed-up Republican consultants, never Trump grifters, and longtime D.C. insiders, it was never a legitimate conservative group. Never. It was a Democrat-funded super PAC masquerading as a principled Republican group while working overtime to destroy Donald Trump and the American First movement. Why would you be against America First? They are traitors to conservatism. These people just don't disagree with Trump. They actively work with Democrats, and they cooperate with left-wing media, and they use left-wing dark money to sabotage the Republican Party and to re-elect at the time Joe Biden. They proudly align themselves with the very forces destroying the country. And they stood against the people that they said they loved. They're elite grifters is what they are. Led by figures like Rick Wilson, Steve Schmidt, George Conway, John Weaver. The Lincoln Project raised hundreds of millions of dollars from wealthy Democrats and never Trump donors. It's a group about hating Donald Trump, no matter how much good he does for the country. It's a group designed to hate Donald Trump. What good could ever come from something that was designed and built just to create hate for one person? Very little of that money went to actually winning elections. Instead, it funneled lavish lifestyles, luxury travel. This is the Lincoln Project. Massive ad buys that mostly serve to stroke their own egos and line their own pockets. Fraud. Sexual predator protection racket. Yes, multiple senior members, including the co-founder John Weaver, faced credible sexual harassment and grooming allegations involving young men. This organization's response was typical DC swamp behavior. Denial, cover-up, deflection, all the usual stuff you see when it comes to one of these 501c or any other organization operating within the Beltway. Their moral posturing about character and decency was always just a sick joke. Their real record, you want to know the truth? They spent enormous, this is the Lincoln Project, they spent enormous sums of money attacking Trump, attacking all Republican candidates, yet achieved almost nothing of substance. Trump won in 24 despite their greatest efforts. They specialize in sleazy, deceptive attack ads that often distort the truth or rely on emotional manipulation rather than policy arguments. I love to argue policy, but this is just one more left-wing group. They don't argue policy. They just go forth and do what they do. Many of their founders and senior staff had long histories of losing races and then cashing in as consultants. The Lincoln Project was their ultimate grift, getting paid massive fees by terrified Democrats to fight Trump while pretending to represent the soul of the Republican Party. It's a complete scam. It's a complete scam. That's why I'm so surprised that you told us that you were in the Lincoln Project, because that's literally a leftist scam. You're a leftist. If you're in that and you support that and you fund that and you agree with that, you're a leftist, okay? Your hatred for Trump is spilling over into the country. You should not hate Trump like you do, because that's what's best for your country, but that's probably too deep of a concept for you to understand. From far-right conservative perspectives, the Lincoln Project represents everything wrong with the old GOP establishment. Fake conservatives, neocons, globalists, Beltway parasites who hate the base, despise populism. They would rather burn the country down than let actual conservatives run the party. They weren't Lincoln Republicans. They were useful idiots, paid opposition for the Democrat Party. Their entire existence was a psyop designed to fracture the right and keep power in the hands of the uniparty elite on the left. People in the Lincoln Party that think they're Republicans and think they're on the right are fools. Fools. The fact that they still have any relevance at all is proof of how much institutional rot remains in Washington. Real conservatives should treat this with nothing but contempt and ridicule. The Lincoln Project should be treated with nothing but contempt and ridicule. They're not our allies. They're leftists. They hate America first. They hate our president, and they hate our country. They're not conservatives. They're not conservatives. They're the enemy growing within like a cancer. I love talking about the Lincoln Project because literally it's a fake deal. It's literally a program that completely benefits the left, but pretends to be on the right, fighting for this little sliver of the right that doesn't like Trump. It's ridiculous. It's a ruse. And some people fall for it. Yep, some people fall for it. Isn't that amazing? And what always ends up happening is people will end up joining up and thinking they're maybe for a short time they'll think they're doing the right thing, but they're not. They're not. They know not what they do, so that's fine. All right, so let's see. That's the Lincoln Project. So basically what you ended up with is see, I'm addressing what you said about the Lincoln Project, but you're talking about something totally different.
Because as I said before, you guys deserve better for yourselves. It's not too late. It's not too late to quit your job.
I thought you wanted to talk about the Lincoln Project.
Totally out.
I wanted to talk about the Lincoln Project. It's such a fraud. I could talk about it all night. You don't want to talk about the Lincoln Project no more?
You get something off your chest.
Basically, you just trolled me?
Don't do that.
You've been trolling me every time you come in here. I don't care. You should understand, I use your trolling as a springboard to discuss important issues like the ruse called the Lincoln Project. I think it's great. I thank you because not only have you driven up my algorithms tonight, not only have you increased my chat rate tonight, okay, but you've given us something stimulating to talk about, and I really appreciate that. Come in and troll anytime. I love trolls. Trolls help me every time they come in.
Literally just crossed over.
How did people get so dumb in this world? Well, some people lead and some people follow, and that's the bottom line. And these people on the left, they end up following the wrong people. That's what happened. They end up doing something stupid like joining the Lincoln Project and then reading the diatribe that comes out of there and thinking it's the truth. They're literally being played by leftists. They claim to be conservative and they're being played by leftists. It's a joke. It's funny. Yeah, trolling's an immature thing that children do. You know? And what you'll find about these trolls is they generally know not about anything they're trolling about. I find trolls to generally be some of the more ignorant people you'll find out here, because they never bring the receipts. They'll bring something up, and then when I'm talking about it, they'll go talk about something else because they didn't care about the topic. They just brought it up. Yes, I do like Trump quite a bit. I sure do. Trump has done more. I mean, look how quick. Even with the incident in Iraq that's created a temporary gas increase. Even with that, inflation is still 6 or 8% lower than it was under Joe Biden. Joe Biden had inflation up at 10% year over year, the highest it's ever been. So, despite everything, Trump's got us cooking with gas. Unemployment, almost nothing. The job economy, the job rates, the salaries, everything is up. Everything is doing great, despite everything that's going on. And people will still tell you, he don't know what he's doing, he can't run a country. Yeah, and the senile guy could? This is what I don't understand about the left. That guy, Joe Biden, or as the French called him, Joe Badon, he is an absolute tard. He was completely out of it the whole time. He signed off on some of the craziest stuff while he was in there because he would sign anything they stuffed under his nose. He had inflation up 10% year over year. That's crazy. And then a year after Trump takes over, the Democrats are like, why is groceries so high? They're high because of your guy. Do you know how many years it takes to fix an economy that's been destroyed over a 4-year period? Yeah, about that same amount of time. You got to rebuild it back, okay? It actually wrecks a lot quicker than it fixes. You can wreck your car in 2 seconds. It takes 2 weeks for that body shop to get it done. All right, so, and Trump's doing it in record time. Yes, we have more jobs right now than ever in the history of this country. It's absolutely amazing right now. Our economy, despite the conflict in Iraq, because that's what they keep bringing up, the conflict in Iraq, blah, 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 the war in Iraq, blah, blah. Despite that, if you leave it in or take it out, it doesn't matter. The economy is still doing 10 times better than it was under Joe Biden. It's doing 20 times better. I mean, my Lord, look where we're at. Look at unemployment. Look at the salaries. Now look at everything. It looks great. Yeah, it is. Trump hate is it's Trump derangement syndrome. That's what it is. And anytime you get somebody with Trump derangement syndrome, they'll come in and they start with their whole bullshit with Trump derangement. And that's why this half hour is sponsored by Trump and All, the makers of Trump and All, the #1 treatment for Trump derangement syndrome. Did you wake up this morning a member of the Lincoln Project? You need Trump and All. Try some today. It'll make you feel much more patriotic. You'll wake up in the morning pissing red, white, and blue. This is some good stuff. Trump and All. Quit being such a crazy bitch and get back to reality today. Again, Trump and All for Trump derangement syndrome. Yeah, I love when trolls come in and get my algorithms going. That's awesome. Yeah. Chat rate does boost the algorithm. It does. It's engagement. It absolutely does. I've been studying this intently for 3 years now. I've taken the YouTube classes, for Christ's sake. It's not number 1 or 2 or 3, but it's very high on the list because it's considered engagement. And so, as a matter of fact, we see it. When we have a troll in here and the chat room starts rolling and rolling and rolling, the number just keeps going up. We'll be up another 100 viewers because YouTube, if they see a lot of interaction within a live video, what they do is they will begin to put the impression of that video out in front of more people. And so a little gets you a little more, and a little more gets you a little more. So it does count. Everything counts. Even a thumbs down gives you algorithmic credit for a contact, basically. The comments in the videos are very important. Those count. Those count a lot higher than chats. So, yeah, we do good here. This channel is one of those things where, it's our normal guys in here. We'll maybe have, 1,000 or so people through the night, and that's about normal for our channel. We'll peak somewhere between 50 and 100 viewers consecutive. That's about normal for a slow night. However, during Hurricane Melissa, I had 35,000 consecutive viewers. So it's one of those things where I do it every night because I like to do it and I want to bring you guys the news. But we don't do our big growth spurts on a slow night like this. Our growth spurts are when we've got all of our screens on a manhunt or something that's going on. We'll end up getting a lot more people. So it's one of those things where I just like to keep this going, because another thing that really helps your algorithm is the daily churn. They like to see channels that go live every single day. As a matter of fact, if I take a night or two off, the next night when I come back, my viewer numbers will be down by 30%. That's partially, I'm sure, because people may have found other things or they didn't realize I'm back or whatever. But a lot of it is just, it's algorithmic. That's not true, Sir Richard. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying. I've got one video that's got 100,000 views. I've got 1,400 videos. Did you check them all? I've been doing this a long time. So now, are you like labor shaming me? Is that what we're doing now? You're trying to be critical about what I've done? What I've done is a lot more than what you've ever done. That's what I've done. And purposely spelling my name wrong doesn't bother me. You got to realize, with a name like Ian, I've been mispronounced and misspelled my entire life. In fact, since Hurricane Ian hit my town, spelled the same way as mine, by the way, I actually enjoy the fact that everybody knows how to spell and say my name now. I had a baseball coach that called me by my middle name because he's told my mother he couldn't pronounce my first name. Your lie about fire. What does that even mean? Yeah, I'm sure your name's the same as mine. Yeah. That's just a little... That's petty, isn't it? I mean, you're click shaming me. You know, I mean, does that make you feel better? You're just a little man. Or woman. I don't mean to misgender you. You're a little it. No, I'm not a member of the Order of Ians. I don't join orders of anything. I don't join projects either, like the Lincoln Project. Yeah, the closest alignment in some European countries, Ian is like the name John. Yes, but I don't... yeah, whatever.
All right, so I think it's important. I know we keep seeing
Yeah.
Nazi scumbags, so I bought some forest and pieces of it.
Why would you want to help me when you've been in here trying to hurt me? See, this is the kind of childish games that you play. You've done everything you can in here tonight to upset me. It doesn't work. As a matter of fact, you've given me stimulating discussion that I've been able to have. So, yeah, your mama shouldn't let you have the liquor down in the basement. Yeah, when a troll says he's going to be nice all of a sudden and he wants to be your friend, that's a troll as well. So, you do get my numbers up. Yeah, you do. You do. You definitely get my numbers up, which gets me more impressions. Absolutely. I'm not going to say I appreciate it because you're being a nasty asshole the whole time you're doing it. You know. But that's, you know, that's typical. I get it. I think. All right, so let's take a look here at the weather real quick. We do have this one now that the rotation has just gone over Franklin. It did go over Franklin just like I thought it would. And we did see that center of rotation go right over Franklin. Now, whether it was producing a tornado, I don't know. But there was a couplet right over the top of Franklin. And now we're going to go just north of Shelbyville is the next one. And this is all in Indiana. I want to show you guys what the outlook looks like tonight. Look at this. It's huge. You can see here we've got a very large area that is 3 out of 5. Remember, the scale goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 3 out of 5 is like, you know, over halfway up the scale. It's pretty dangerous. Above this, you get into red and purple. Red is 4 out of 5. Purple is 5 out of 5. So this isn't as bad as it gets. Normally, we won't see a lot of long tracks and anything like that, but there's still a pretty big storm system coming through. And right now, this is what the rain looks like as we're coming in. These red circles you see are areas where they think there might be some severe weather. These are basically severe thunderstorm watches. And you can see we've got a few of our storm chasers all up in here. I don't know why Brad's gone out, but we'll leave him for just a minute to see if he comes back up. All right, so there's a bunch of storm chasers out there, and we are monitoring this live as it happens here on StarShip Adventures. All right, and I do want to thank everybody for being here. Let's do a quick reset. Guys, we're coming up on the 10 o'clock hour. It's 9:56 on the East Coast, and it is, 6:56 on the left coast. Hi, everybody. I am broadcasting live from StarShip Studios in Southwest Florida, and we are broadcasting worldwide on YouTube, the world's largest broadcast platform, and we are on Troll Patrol tonight, watching the trolls come in and give us a hard time. So there you go. All right, so let's get back to the grid and see what we got going on. What do you, L? Think about the Black Kiss Eye Star Trek. One troll. Okay. You speak mostly in gibberish. No, see, Richard, you think you distracted me for 45 minutes, but you didn't. You want to know why? My people love when I tear new assholes into frickin' people like you. My people like when I put you in your place. And my people like when you bring up a topic like Lincoln Project. I bet you there's people in this audience tonight that had no idea how corrupt the Lincoln Project was. I bet there's people here tonight that had no idea how screwed up the Lincoln Project was. But they know now. Why do they know? Because you came in and made ignorant statements. And that's fine. And I discussed it back, and now people know. Now people know what's going on with it. Okay. So are you like a foreign person that's trolling me? Where are you at now? In Mumbai? Where are you at exactly? Well, I mean, what part of the world are you in? Are you in the Middle East? Southeast Asia, maybe? It makes sense looking at the typing. It kind of makes sense. But no, I'm glad you came in, and I'm glad you brought up the Lincoln Project. That was a good topic tonight. One of the biggest frauds out there. I think people need to know about it. So there you go. All right, let's see what else we got going on now. New Jersey, the crazy Democrats in New Jersey advance a bill criminalizing interference with abortions and interference with transgender health care. That's right, the nuts in New Jersey are doing what they do best. Remember, New Jersey, home of Newark, New Jersey, where we've had 2 weeks of paid protesters being bussed in to the Delaney Center. But anyway, the measure would also shield providers from extradition to states that have banned such treatments. Wow. This is nutty shit right here. The New Jersey Assembly Committee on Monday advanced a Democrat-backed bill that would criminalize individuals who interfere with access to gender and reproductive health care. The Assembly Appropriations Committee approved the measure along party lines, clearing the way for a potential full vote in the legislature later this week, before reaching Democratic Governor Mike Sherrill's desk for her signature. Mickey Sherrill for her signature. If enacted, the measure would make New Jersey the first state in the nation to explicitly criminalize such interference. They're going to try to walk on your speech with this. They're going to say that you standing out in front of an abortion clinic is interference, and they're going to arrest you. This is a way for those bastard, godless, heathen people that kill their baby in the womb because it's an inconvenience. Okay? That's these people here. And now they want to criminalize you trying to save babies' lives. Aren't the Democrats wonderful? They're always on the wrong side of history. Which party's for killing babies? The left. Which party's for the KKK? The left. Which party likes the Venezuelan president who's a king and a dictator? The left. What's the party that likes Iran and doesn't want us there? The left. What's the party that likes Hezbollah and the terrorists? The left. What's the party that likes criminals and likes to let them out of jail? The left. If you can't see it, you're blind. And probably not that bright. Because it's in your face. The Republicans have always stood for civil rights. The left has always said that they've stood for civil rights. That's the difference. Well, it's funny because I don't think your Lincoln Project buddies are pro-life. Well, I hope you're pro-life. I'm pro-life. I don't mind extreme exceptions for mother's health. Possibly rape in extreme cases. I'm okay with those exceptions, but I really want it to be outlawed. I think that it's just, first of all, it's like anything else. If the illegals think they're going to get free meals and free beds and free places to live, they're going to come. They're going to walk across the border and they're going to come. If people know they can drive down the street and get that baby sucked out with a little baby vacuum, okay, then they're not going to bother with that going up to the store and getting a condom. They're just going to bang right there on the couch, right there on the counter. I think if people realized that they couldn't get abortions, it would affect the number of unwanted pregnancies by a huge number. And so all I'm trying to do by being pro-life, I'm trying to save humans. Little girl humans and little boy humans. And that's why when women say it's a woman's right to abort that fetus in the womb, really? What if the womb baby was a woman? What about that woman's rights? You took that woman's rights away. So don't give me the whole woman's rights bullshit, because you're killing a woman in your womb. It's sick. I'm not saying we should condemn people that have gotten them. I'm not saying we should criminalize this and that and the other thing. We just need to get away from it. We need to stop as a society killing babies for convenience. Period. The left stands for chaos. They do. They have anti-American protests somewhere in this country every single day. There is anti-American protests in progress in this country every single day. Portland, Oregon. Los Angeles. San Francisco. Seattle, Washington. Newark, New Jersey. New York, New York. They're going on constantly. And they all have one thing in common. They fly the wrong country's flags, and when they fly our flag, it's upside down and it ends up getting burnt. They're not for this country. They're anti-American. And these are anti-American protests. Period. You can't burn the flag and say, I'm doing it for the country. Doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. My God, there's that woman again. I wish she would go away. Damn it. How does she keep popping up on my stream? It figures you miss Biden. You miss a man that wasn't even running the place. His wife was running an auto pen. Figures you would like him. That's why you miss Biden. Nobody misses Biden. Look, if you burn the flag, you immediately show people that you hate the country. So you can't say we're at a mostly peaceful, patriotic rally and we're burning flags. It's a non sequitur. And that, well, William, you're exactly right. The borders were left open for 4 years by Joseph Robinette Biden, and they were left open specifically to replace voters and to replace people that get counted on the census at the top of the decade. You're absolutely correct. You're right. There was not civil unrest under Biden. You want to know why? You want to know why? Because the left, the right doesn't do that. When you're intelligent, you work the process. When you're intelligent, you work within the system. When you're intelligent, you don't waste your time doing something that nets no result. And when you're intelligent, you go out every day and you do what you think is right, and not go stand in front of an ICE center walking back and forth for people that came here illegally to begin with. Why are they not this passionate about other things? Why are they not this passionate about our failing education system? Why are they not this passionate about feeding the homeless? Why are they not this passionate? They're passionate. The most passionate thing in their life is they want illegal aliens to be allowed to stay in our country. They came here illegally. It just doesn't make sense to me. Explain the Oklahoma bombing? I think that's pretty off topic, but that's what happens when crazy people get trucks and fertilizer. Well, yeah, deplorabus. That's one of the largest problems is the Democrats. They never primaried. I think if they'd primaried, I don't think Kamala Harris, that simpleton dolt, I don't think would have ever been the nominee for the Democrat Party. There's just no way. I mean, everybody knows she just. I mean, she's not that bright. Okay? She's the dimmest bulb in the box. Let me put it that way. No presidential candidate in a long time has had so little... Even Hillary Clinton is twice as smart as she is. Okay? I mean, they could do a lot better. And you know what gets me right now? The Democrats have nobody. They have nobody. I think it's amazing. They have no bench. None. Look at the Republicans. We've got a bench. We've got governors that have completely made states into meccas, namely Texas and Florida. Either one of those governors would be wonderful presidents. Plus, we have J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio. Many of us just want them to just run as a ticket. I mean, hell, if the Democrats don't need a primary, why do we need one, right? We've got this huge bench. We've got pinch hitters. We've got heavy hitters. We got the whole thing. We got the whole bench. What does the left have? And you guys tell me if I'm wrong. Put in names of anybody I miss. Okay? Put in, you know, Sir Richard, you have an attention deficit problem. Because every time you bring up something and I start talking about it, you're off to three other, you're not even listening to what I'm saying. I mean, you're just off to the next three things. Now the Epstein file. You know, if I got to explain this Epstein file one more time, I'm going to throw up in my mouth. Republicans have a deep bench. We have a very deep bench. We got 10 more people under those four that I just mentioned. We have a great bench. The left. What does the left have for a bench? When they polled leftists about 10 days ago, they polled leftists. 17% voted for Gavin Newsom. Douche Newsom. That's right. 15% Kamala Harris. 13% Robert Francis O'Rourke, or Beto is his appropriated name. And then you're down to Pete Buttigieg. I say it that way because that's how Trump's people got him to say it right. He says the word boot, edge, edge. Say it real quick. Buttigieg. It works. Isn't that awesome? So, Buttigieg. Anyway, yeah. That douche gets like 7%. He was the transportation secretary for 4 years and nobody even knows who he is. And then, who do you have under that? AOC. AOC at 6%. That's right. AOC. The bartender wants to be president. She thinks she's got it. She thinks she's got it figured out. That's right. And she's telling everybody, I'll take Senate, but I really want to be the big man. She's nuts. And you talk about someone with no depth of knowledge, depth of field, or worldly depth at all. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. It's like talking to someone who graduated college 2 years ago and worked in a bar since they graduated college, which is pretty much what she did before she got in the office. I hope they run AOC. The ticket I want is like AOC Buttigieg. I think that would be an awesome, terrible ticket. Yeah. Oh, I would love to see that. Are you kidding me? Here's the thing. Who would they run? Who do you guys think they got? Who do they got? Give me another name. Give me any name of a Democrat that would be better than Pete Buttigieg or Robert Francis O'Rourke or Kamala. I've never had a deep thought in my life. Harris or Gavin the Hair Newsom. I mean, any of them. Name one of them. Not those, but name any other Democrat that we could make the heir apparent here. Who? And that's precisely my point. The bottom line is it looks like they're going to field a dud. Just like they did last time. Well, they did the time before too, but we know election fraud took care of that. So basically, they have no one to run. We have all kinds of great people to run. I didn't know Gavin was dyslexic. I'm dyslexic. It's kind of a bitch sometimes, but I get through. Run AOC and the Nazi tattoo guy. Yes, I think that would be an amazing ticket. And it would be inclusive because one of them's pro-socialist and one of them's pro-fascist. What a great deal. I mean, you kind of got everybody there, right? Yeah, Gavin Newsom's so stupid. He literally made a statement about black people not being able to read and then tried to back it up by saying he couldn't read because he was dyslexic. Nobody becomes governor, even a failed governor of a failed state after being the failed mayor of a failed city, can do that without being able to freaking read and write. Moron. That's why I call him Douche Newsom. You guys remember the old game, Duke Nukem? That's where I get that from. Back when video games, back in the late 90s, when video games first came over to PC, and we were operating on some little machine or some shit. You want to go out? What do you want? What's wrong? I don't understand. You say that same word over and over. Here, let me see if she needs out. Okay, it wasn't out. If it wasn't out, what is it that she wants? What do you want? She's like talking to me like she wants something. She keeps asking for meow. I've never figured out what that is. They want it all the time. Yeah, Duke Nukem. You remember that? It was he was like in like a German underground or whatever, and a Luftwaffe. Yeah, it was a fun game back then. It was obviously by today's standards really cheesy. No, I don't remember the knee pads, Sanguine. I don't, but that's got to be funny. Yep, let's get a few more likes, guys. We need 15 more to reach our goal tonight of likes. Sir Richard Nasty says he's got ADHD. I have a little bit of that too. I think everybody has that to a certain degree. I got more ADD. I don't know, with me, I have a real hard time keeping my mind on focus. It took me most of my time in school to learn how to do school, unfortunately. I sat in classrooms and watched clocks. I'm going to tell you something really weird about me that a lot of people don't know, and I don't care if the troll's still in here or not. I never did homework. I didn't believe in it. I took an actual stand against it. They get me for 7 hours a day, and then you send me home with homework. And I'm thinking, my mother works at a bank for 8 hours a day, and they don't send her home with homework. My dad manages a plumbing supply store, and he does it 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. They don't send him home with homework. This doesn't even make sense. Why would they send me home with homework? And I've never did homework. Elementary school, middle school, high school, been to counseling. My mother was called in a few times. I don't do homework. I don't believe in it. I've never believed in it. It's funny because now I'll come home from work and dial in and do work at home. But the point is when I was a kid, I didn't believe in homework. And I took a stand against it. I never did it. I would literally turn in blank papers. They would say, all right, everybody turn in your homework. And I would reach back and grab the papers from the desk behind me. You know how they do it. Everybody passes it forward, right? And I would literally put my blank piece of paper with no name or nothing on it in there and send it back in. I would do it every day. He got all my problem sheets back. That was all just busy work. Half the kids didn't do it. The other half just wrote numbers under the lines. Nobody ever checked them. They were not graded. They didn't count towards your grade. Homework is nearly always busy work. Now, I did my science projects. Why? Why would I do my science projects? Because I like doing them. If I like doing homework, I'll do it. I love science. You know, one year I had 3 science projects. 3. I built a solar passive thermosiphoning water heating system that actually worked. It was a demonstrator model that was built on a piece of 3x4 sheet board. And I built a solar panel using copper wire and black paint and glass. And I built it with the tank above it. That's why it's a passive. It's a solar passive. It doesn't require a pump. And I could sit there and make 150-degree water without a pump. My teachers were amazed. I won first all for the county-wide. I love science, so I would do my science projects. Like I said, one year I had 3 entries. I couldn't decide, so I did all 3. I don't know. I love being a little scientist, but I'm not going to be a little academic, I can tell you that. So I never did homework. Math, English, history. I hated history. You know what I found out? History wasn't the problem. It was the way these people were teaching it was the problem. All through school. I got out of school. 12 grades, 13 years, counting kindergarten. I get out of public school. Ask me a question. What started World War II? No idea. Give me some facts about the Korean conflict. No idea. But I could tell you the name of all the generals and the years that the battles were fought. They taught us all the wrong things. Think about it when you were in school. Did they teach you why the war was fought? Or the names of all the generals and the dates of all the big battles? What did they tell you about the Civil War? What did they tell you? Did you learn anything? They might have told you who Robert E. Lee was and where he was born and the whole thing with the house up at the cemetery and all. But the point is what's the most important thing to learn about a war? The lessons that were learned in the war. None of that's taught. They never discuss why a war's fought ever. Part of it's because they don't want to get political. Part of it's they don't want to get sensitive. Part of it's they're a bunch of leftist assholes writing these books. History's terrible in school. Public school. Because it's all memorization. It's all memorization. Why? Because they want to give you a multiple choice question answer at the end of the week. So they ask you, who was the #1 general at the Battle of Antietam? And you got to come up with it. It's multiple guess. Why do they do that? So that they can show that they tested you on things that they taught you and you were able to regurgitate it. However, the things they were teaching you did nothing for you. What's wrong, Mommy? What can I help you with? What can I do for you? Everybody's wondering what you're talking about. What are you talking about? All right, guys, let me take a couple minute break here. I'm going to look and see if I can plug these holes real quick. Just give me a second here. Let me just run this real quick and see if I can fill these holes, because we got basically, I think we got a duplicate here that's just running about a few minutes behind. The one's running a few minutes behind the other one. All right, let me run down here and see if I can find anything. That London knife attack. Remember the one where the Muslim attacked the white guy with the knife and killed him? And while he was laying there bleeding to death, the cops showed up. And instead of calling him an ambulance and stopping the bleeding and helping him stop the bleeding, they handcuffed him behind his back so he couldn't stop the bleeding and he laid there and died. Why did they handcuff him behind his back? Because the Muslim told him that the white guy was calling him names. That's a problem, ladies and gentlemen. That's a problem. England, we're all circling the rim, but England's a lot closer to that hole in the middle, if you know what I mean. My goodness. Here we go. There's the 2 protesters out at Portland. I'll get that up because we got to make sure that things stay civil in Portland, of course. I haven't seen the teddy bear on a skateboard in, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 days. It seems like it's been a long time. I'm a little worried about him. I don't know. You guys think he's all right? There's Portland. It's Portland, you know what I mean? Let's see here. I love it. You know. No, there was not a left. The whole left and right concept during the Civil War was very different than it is today. Yeah, are you talking about the one where they're checking into the American Civil Liberties Union, which is a black 501c3 organization? And this organization was literally paying. Look, you guys are going to think I'm making this shit up, okay? the black-run American Civil Liberties Union was paying the Ku Klux Klan to go out and do activism so that they could then go out and rally against it. You can't make this shit up. And if you think I'm lying, it was on Capitol Hill today. Yes, Belfast is burning. There's protesting going on there. All right, let's do that. Let me look back over here and see if I can find one more view of something here. There has to be something. My God. Albania? See, we protest here. We get 40 people in blow-up costumes, and they call that a protest? In Albania, there's 100,000 people out there. I don't know where they all shit. These leftist riots in this county, in this country, this leftist protest, this leftist civil unrest, it's a joke. It's a joke. They can't even do wrong right, if you know what I mean. Belfast, there's riots also in Belfast. Let's see, there's all kinds of stuff going on tonight. There's unrest in Kenya tonight as well. I don't do international protests and stuff like that, so Mama, you're going to have to tell me what's wrong because I don't understand what you're saying. She's not normally like this. I'm wondering if she's got a bellyache or something. What's wrong? What's wrong? You don't want to say it while we're on the air? No? I don't know what's wrong with her. I'm a little worried about her now because she's acting weird. Yeah. Trump is hates all over America. UTI. Are you talking about a urinary tract infection? Trump is hates all over America. Yes, there is about 35% of Americans that absolutely hate Donald Trump. Hate him. The good news is there's a lot more people that like him, and there's also a lot of people that don't have a hate or a like. They're in the middle. So luckily, it's not nearly a majority of people that hate Donald Trump. That's all I can say. And people that hate him, when you ask, why do you hate Donald Trump? He's pompous. He's got a big ego. He's a jerk. Give me a reason not to like him. Those aren't reasons not to like him. I like that he's pompous. I love when he sits down on the shitter in the morning at 7 o'clock and rips somebody a new asshole. That's one of my favorite things. I'm like, oh, he's going. I'll pull up Truth Social and let it go bing, bing, bing so I can listen to it. I love when he gets up and goes off. I love it. I love when he goes off at these rallies and stuff. I like when he's doing a press conference and he calls it just like it is. That's what I like about Donald Trump. Do you know that Donald Trump did more press conferences than Joe Biden within the first 35 days of his administration? And Biden was president for 4 years. He's the most transparent president ever. Yep, Trump definitely lowered taxes. All the Democrats do is raise taxes. That's all they do is raise taxes. And it just ends up hurting everybody. Yep. Yeah, and we're trying. He's trying to get this thing balanced. He knows where we're at with this debt. And of all presidents, he's one of the few presidents that actually talk about it. See, everybody wants to fix the debt until they're in office, and then all of a sudden they don't mention the debt anymore. And that goes for Democrats and Republicans. Jesse Ventura, yeah, he's cool. Yeah, Sanguine, I agree. A lot of this hate against Trump, it's not that the people hate Trump, it's just that the people's friends hate Trump. And it's like, it becomes like a cancer that grows. But when you ask any of these people that hate Trump what they hate about Trump, they really don't have much to say. They really don't, there's not a reason. He's actually doing a great job as president, one of the best jobs we've ever seen a president do with the budget. He's holding the budget line better than Bill Clinton was, and Bill Clinton was a great fiscal hawk. Well, that's true. The left hates success. That's the bottom line. The left hates one thing more than anything else, and that's success. That's why they want to be communists, because then everybody gets a little bit of the pie and you don't have to be successful. They hate success. That's why these people that troll me come in here and start trolling my numbers, trolling my channel, trolling my broadcast style, trolling every little thing. It don't work, but that's what they do. They're just disgruntled, weak people. Sir Richard, I don't think what's success? I'll tell you what's success. I don't think you know me. I don't think you know me at all. I'm a retired fire chief with a college degree. While I was a firefighter, I was also a part-time cop. I did that for 8 years. I was a part-time dispatcher. I did that for 6 years. While I was a full-time firefighter, I was the youngest person to ever gain rank in this county in the fire department. I was a lieutenant at 21. Yeah. I was in officers candidate school at 20. In Ocala, taking it at the fire college. I held 5 government positions at one time. I was a paid lieutenant, a volunteer firefighter in another department. I was on the communications disaster response team with the county. I was a fill-in dispatcher, and I was a deputy sheriff. All at the same time. 5 different things. I had no kids, no children, no wife. I never wanted a family. I wanted a career. I wanted to learn things. I love science, and I love public safety, and I love helping people, and I'm a big philanthropist. So I mean, I love this kind of stuff. And so you don't even know me when you start talking about, when you start talking. You called my firehouse, okay? So. You called my police department? I never worked at a police department. I was a deputy sheriff. If you're going to troll me, at least get your facts right. Yeah, I mean, some people think I'm doing great here on YouTube. I'll accept the trolls, maybe. I'm not telling the truth. What would you like me to do? I'll get my certificate book out and show you all my certificates. What would help? I got my hat, my helmet. What would help? I'll go get out my Class A uniform. Would that help if I showed you that? I don't have to prove anything to you, you moron. Do you think I would know what I know if I didn't do the things I did? I mean, seriously? Do you really think that? You can troll me all you want, dude. You know what's great about living a clean life that's above board? I don't have any skeletons. So good luck. Have fun. What I say is the truth, and it can all be verified. Hey Zen, how you doing? I have a son? Oh God. Who is Patricia and Lance? Are they in the chat room? Is that somebody in the chat room? I've never had a child. Legitimate, illegitimate, aborted, nothing. Never. Nope. But keep going. You're helping my algorithms. Yes, Trump was 45 and 47. He actually gets 2 numbers. Yeah, we got a typical juvenile troll in here that's snuck some liquor down into his mother's basement tonight, and he's playing the "I'm a leftist but I'm really not" game. Damn you, gaslighting. Answer the phone. What phone are you talking about? Oh my God, I got 3 phones. I don't know which one you're talking about. None of my phones are ringing. Exactly. He's a little man that he's going to try to, he may even try to hurt me somehow, but it never works. I've been doing this 6 years. I've been attacked by the best of them. So I don't worry about that. I'm on commercial radio. I produced a #1 talk radio show in Southwest Florida. So I get attacked all the time. People call my boss all the time and tell him I'm a piece of shit. I don't care. He's used to it. Because I'm very opinionated on the radio. What are you talking about? You got some kind of phone fetish or something? Yeah, I know. The problem is none of his facts have been correct and my phone hasn't rang. So none of my phones have rang. Who is we? You and your mom? Wow. I think it's great though. It was a good guess. Lance? Is Lance supposed to be my son or something? I love this. This is fun. I've never even had a friend named Lance. I've never had a family member named Lance. I don't know anyone named Pat or Patricia. I assume that that's some other guy. I don't know. My ringtone? Show you it did? God, dude, you are illiterate. I'm sorry. It's the voices in his head, I know. He's probably like 14, guys. I mean, it's not that... It may not even be that English is his second language. He just ain't done learning his first language yet. I think may be the problem. God, here's this woman again. She has to be in my show 10 times a frickin' night. I gotta find a way to ban her channel or something so that she never shows up on my shit again. I don't even know what she's talking about. She may be doing a perfectly great show. I have no idea. Yeah, he probably does. Yeah, probably does. Go ahead and call me. Call me. I got 3 phones. I have 3 phones. Call me right now. Pickled Bird. Welcome back. Yeah, he's definitely foreign. He's definitely foreign. He's admitted that English is his second language. He does not have a grasp on politics here in the United States, and he's definitely left-leaning if he is political at all. That boat next to your house? Dude, there is no boat. I've never owned a boat. There is no boat next to my house. Oh my Lord. There's 3 big antennas at my house. Look for that. See if you can find a house with the 3 big ham radio antennas. Yeah. I love when people try to convince you that they figured out who you are and they know all your secrets when nothing they put in there is correct. Yeah, probably right from the Leering Center. I agree. Probably a student of the Minneapolis Leering Center. That's probably why he's trolling. He's from out of country and he wants to be here. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I mean, come on. He obviously doesn't know the first thing about American politics. He literally would just bring up, like, the name of something, like Lincoln Project. I discussed Lincoln Project for 25 minutes. He never countered with anything because he doesn't even know what it is. Mama needs to come down and unplug that computer and tell you to go to bed. A Mexican radio. I know that song. Whoa. Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah. I've had some great trolls. I've had trolls that claim that they know where I work, and claim that they're gonna do this and that. I don't care. I don't even report it. I don't care. Because you know why? As we used to say at the sheriff's department, I'm always signal zero, if you know what I mean. Yeah. You just called. None of my phones rang. Yeah, his third world power grid's probably going to go out soon. You're right. Good song, I Did Sound. What does that even mean? Is there an interpreter in here? No, they did. Wow. Dude. I really prefer trolls that are literate. But that's fine. I mean, us trying to figure out what you're saying helps my algorithms too. Oh, you're talking about that Mexican radio song. Yeah, it's a fun song. It's not necessarily my genre exactly, but it's a fun song. He is, I'm sure he's a they, them. You're calling who? Who are you calling? Maybe he's calling 911. I don't, or whatever it is in his country, 999 or 626 or whatever it is in your country. Maybe it's 666 in your country. I don't know. That's pretty cool, Singling. I like that. I'd like to have me something like that. I sit in my indoor technological nightmare. Victor, thank you, Victor. He sent one StarShip Adventures gift membership, and Aaron Hunt just got it. So there you go, Aaron. Welcome aboard the ship. Hang out for a month and see if you like it. This is a free membership from Victor, our literally one of our originating supporters here on the channel from many years ago. So thank you, Victor, for being here. Yes, and I say every day that I'm broadcasting in North Fort Myers, Florida, and you looked up the area code. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad for a foreigner that doesn't speak very good English. No, I have not been to the UFO bar in Tampa. No, I have not. I don't go to bars. He's one of the lizard people from V. Oh, goodness. I've all my life I've found better things to do with my money than sit in bars. I don't have an answering machine on any of my lines. So that's number 17 error. I think his mama needs to not let him play with the telephone. Answer what? I've answered almost everything you've said in the chat. Matter of fact, I've answered literally everything you've said in the chat. The cottage. No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. My phone went off once about 40 minutes ago. It was work. No, I haven't gotten any other calls tonight. Oh, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. The cottage. I'm not sure if I remember that or not. It sounds familiar, but it's not coming to me. It could be out on one of the barrier islands. Is probably what it is. I'm kind of an inland boy. I don't go out on the barrier island much. I don't. I'll be honest. This is a little crazy. I don't like the ocean that much. So, yeah. I mean, it's a great view. It's neat. I love watching storms come in off the Gulf and stuff like that. I would never spend money to be right on the beach. I just wouldn't do it. I don't have voicemail. I've left a few times. I don't like to leave the USA. No, I don't. No, I'm a bit of a xenophobe, actually. I don't like. I'll admit it. I'm not shy about it. I don't want to leave. I've been to Canada a few times. I don't want to leave. I don't have any place I want to go. You know something? When I get my van built, I'm going to go to one corner of this country to the other, and I'll spend the rest of my life seeing this country. That's all I need. I don't need any other countries. What a negative little person to come in here and try to convince people that you've got my phone numbers and my address. The boat next to my house. That's the funniest one. Because I don't like boats. I'm not a mariner. I don't do boats. I do CB antennas. I do ham radio antennas. There you go. Yeah, Stero Boulevard. That's Fort Myers Beach. Canada is a leftist version of the U.S. Canada kind of lets you see what the U.S. would be if conservatives weren't constantly fighting back. Canada is slipping into that liberal abyss, just like the U.K. and many other places. Yeah, he's a wannabe stalker. That's all right. Because if he crosses lines, I'll file complaints with the local sheriff's department. So I'm not worried about that. I used to be a cop, so if you want to talk about knowing what I can do and what I can't do, I can do it. But I've never had to, because what I always find, these trolls, they're just trolls. They're literally just trolls. And it's the same game plan every time. They start by mispronouncing your name or missaying your name, misspelling your name. Then they start by disrespecting your town and disrespecting what you're talking about. And then eventually they'll try to draw you off. And then they try to convince you that they're not a leftist. I'm not a leftist. I'm a conservative. As we know, everything he's typed says he's not a conservative. So it's always the same thing. And then they finally try to convince you that they know who you are and they're going to come get you in the middle of the night and all this kind of bullshit. Just remember, people down here are all armed. We don't worry about shit like this. Well, you didn't find my house because the house you found had a boat next to it. So you didn't find my house. Yeah, Canada's getting cucked. That's right. That's right. Ain't it the truth? No, I have 3 phones. None of them are ringing. Keep trying. Keep trying. Moron. Yeah, he's the guy with the van and the bag of candy, if you know what I mean. Canada's Charter of Rights, which is their constitution, is written well. It was based on ours, and it's written well. It's not as ironclad as ours, and they, over the years, have really trespassed on it more than the United States has on our Constitution. Remember, the Charter of Rights and the Constitution, what makes those documents special? They're not laws. That's where everybody screws up. Everything else is a law. Got to have 2 headlights on your car. That's a law. Can't speed. That's a law. Can't beat up your old lady. That's a law. But there's some things that are not. I guess... I don't know how to even explain this. Yeah, well, he's kind of being threatening. So I'm letting this go on because this is a record of what's going on. But he's already crossed the line of being threatening. He's trying to convince me that he knows where I'm sleeping tonight. That's a threat. And so he may end up getting a complaint to YouTube as well because but I'm sure this is just, he has no followers, no subscribers, no videos. He's one of these typical trolls that just creates a bunch of accounts. You know how it is. Not a cop, not a fireman. That's my hat. I wasn't just a fireman, idiot. I was the chief of the department. All right? I retired as the chief of the department. Okay? So when you could try to troll all you want, but these people know me. I've been doing this show for years. They know me. All right? My helmet. There it is, my name of the department. I don't care if you know where I worked. Don't care. There's my helmet. Got my name in it. I don't know how much straightforward I could be. I was the chief of the department. Hello? Wish I had more of my shit out here. I thought I had my shadow box out here, but I don't. I've got every badge that I've ever earned. I've got 7 fire department badges from every rank I ever held. Firefighter, engineer, lieutenant, captain, deputy fire chief, and fire chief. Yeah, VTX, he's a leftist, but then he's also come clean. He's not in this country. He's also come clean that English is his second language, and he keeps telling me he knows where I live, and he keeps telling me that I have a boat next to my house, which obviously I don't. VTX comes to my house. He knows I don't have a boat here. Yeah, that's crazy. So you go try to convince you that my history is all bullshit now. It doesn't work, dude. Send me a pizza. If it gets here, I'll eat it on the air. Send it. Only meats. I don't want any vegetable. Give me single bacon, double pepperoni, and single ham. Double cheese, double sauce. That's how I like it. Thin crust. Thin crust. Domino's preferred. The Pizza Hut's closed down here, so it'll have to be Domino's. And don't send me one of those cheap Little Caesars piece of shit pizzas. I want a real pizza. Yeah, he's from the other side of the world. He loves to F with Americans. That's what he does. What's my ex? You're on tour? He's literally just typing whatever. Yeah, I'm selling that invisible boat for $1,000. You guys can come pick it up. If you need my address, just get it from Sir Richard Dumbass there. It didn't steer, and he paid $5,000. Well, yeah, but that was he probably realized he could fix it. We're bombing Iran right now. It's going on right now. It's that song, bomb, 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 Iran. You know that one. No, it's literally going on right now. They took down one of our helicopters. We got both the guys back. However, we are now retaliating for that. So that's how that works. Yeah, it wouldn't be the first one that forgot that drain plug. I could tell you that. Yep, that's pretty cool. We used a rescue ocean surface drone that was driven into place and rescued the guys. So that was really cool. The protest, we had a protest that was going on, that trial that went on out in Texas, the guy that killed the track, whatever. Hold on, I'll tell you. I got it right here. A Collin County jury has sentenced Carmelo Anthony to 35 years in prison after he was found guilty of murder in a fatal stabbing of a 17-year-old Memorial High School student, Austin Metcalf, during a high school track meet in Fresno, Texas. Now, what's interesting about this is the clash that went on was white people that were happy with the verdict and black people that were unhappy with the verdict. Don't know. A jury of mixed races said the guy was guilty unanimously, but somehow if you're black, you see it differently than if you're white. I don't understand that. I don't. But they're out there. They're upset that he was charged with murder. He murdered somebody. That's how it happens. Kind of crazy, really. So that was the one. This protest you're seeing here, the upper right is the ICE facility in Portland. There's about 6 people out there. Center left, that is going to be Newark, New Jersey. That's the one where they've been busing and paid protesters for about 10 days. However, the money must have run out because tonight you've just got your 10 or 15 crazy liberals out there, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's true. If with a boat, if the plug's out and it starts to sink, just take off. If you're going at plane and you're at speed, it will all run back out again. Yeah. Yeah, there's 7 people there. I think it's funny that I routinely have more people in my show than they have on their leftist protests. I mean, you can't beat that with a stick, right? Come on. All right, so we had a weak CME impact, a coronal mass ejection, expected to hit Earth on June 8th, arrived instead on June 9th at about 10:30 Universal Time. This weak impact was subtle. Indeed, it did not disturb the ambient solar wind velocity at all. Normally, this would be a sign of ineffectiveness. However, there was a minor G1 class geomagnetic storm that does remain possible overnight tonight. But it's only going to be for people way up in northern Canada and stuff like that. And that junction between Venus and Jupiter continues to get closer. This was a good night to look into the sunset. You got to look at it right as the sun is setting. In the twilight, Venus and Jupiter are in conjunction, only 1.6 degrees apart. A striking pair of western evening sky. And there's some pictures of that if you want to look at it, as well as sky maps and everything you need at spaceweather.com. And we'll do a quick check of the tropical weather. Yes, we do tropical weather. Starting June 1st, we now check tropical weather every night. Currently, there is no forecast disturbances in the next 7 days. And so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. But we are going to check every single day. We'll just make sure there's nothing going on in the tropics. Once we start getting some storms in the tropics, they start getting going out there, we start getting some stuff showing on the models, we will begin to spend 10 or 15 minutes on this a night, where we're going to go through each model and take a look at what could happen, look at the sea surface temperatures versus vertical wind shear, and all the different things that affect the size and scale and scope of these storms. One of the biggest things we do on this channel is cover hurricanes. Yep, William, you and I both agree there's definitely some kind of connection. I would like to see, I haven't tried this yet, but I'd like to put it in one of the AIs and see if they can draw. It probably got to be somebody who's paying one, because it's going to be a pretty big job. But I'd like to find one that will go through and correlate. Take 1 year, for instance, and correlate CMEs versus earthquakes and volcano activity. Yes, the Gulf of America. Yeah, race identity politics. It's alive and well. It's alive and well. This black guy stabbed an unarmed man to death at a high school sports meet, for Christ's sake. And then they come out and say, oh, it's self-defense. Really? Because your guy had the knife and this guy didn't have the knife. Nobody can explain how it's self-defense. Of course, he was found guilty today because his defense sucked. Yeah, the race identity politics is terrible right now. And it's all created by the left. You know, if we were all conservative people in this country, nobody would care what color you are. The only people that care what color you are is leftists. If this entire country was made up of conservatives, nobody would give a shit what color you are. That's a left. They own it. They own that lock, stock, and barrel. Yep. Well, and the left, another thing you'll notice, people on the left are generally more weak-minded. People on the left are 6 times more likely to suffer from depression and take medications for depression. People on the left are 4 times more likely to say they don't like their country. I mean, there's a lot of this. It's crazy when you start looking at the statistics out there. Basically, when you say right or left, what you're saying is patriot, non-American, or anti-American. The people on the left don't like this country. They don't like capitalism. They don't like our president. They don't like anything that's going on. They don't like us getting rid of illegals. They don't like us putting prisoners in jail. They don't like us stopping narco-terrorists. They don't like us stopping the largest sponsor of world terror ever. They don't like anything that we do that's good, but they're always for the bad guy. Yeah, there's no defense because he did it. I know, that's the thing. It can only be self-defense if he can somehow demonstrate that he was in fear for his life, and that's why he stabbed him. That's a hill too high to climb, obviously, and he didn't climb it. Yeah, he was in an area he wasn't supposed to be in. I don't know the exact facts, but yes, I heard that as well. The tribalism and color of your skin, it means nothing. If you're white, you're black, you're Hispanic, you know something? Your DNA is 99.6% the same. There is no inferior race. You're either human or you're not. It's simple. All the bad people over the course of time have made it about race. Hitler made it about race. Japan made it about race. Everybody makes it about race. It's always about race. And the truth is, in a logical world full of smart conservative people, race no longer matters. It's the left that keeps all this race-baiting bullshit alive. Well, D-Beard, that's what some people are saying, that he got off light. Other people are saying that he was found guilty because he was black, which is complete bullshit. Yeah. The left doesn't like people looking into any of their subsidies or any of their, social welfare programs. I hope he's sending that pizza because I'm hungry. I really am hungry. So I'm watching. I got the cameras on. I got. That's another thing when people say, "I'm gonna come to your house." Come to my house. I got 12 cameras that record 24/7, and then I got a small arsenal. Everywhere they look, when it comes to social programs that the left was running, everywhere, now, hear me, please hear me. Everywhere they've looked, they found fraud. Even in this state, everywhere they've looked, every single social program, whether it's SNAP, WIC, DIC, I don't know how many of them there are. Whether it's the Somali daycare and Leering Center scam, whether it's the home health care scam, whether it's the hospice scam. Of course, SNAP being food stamps, all the government assistance programs, state run, federal run, every single place they've looked. They didn't just find a little fraud. They didn't just find a moderate amount of fraud. They found shitloads of fraud everywhere they've looked. these welfare programs turn out not to even be welfare programs. They're money laundering schemes, or they're ways for people to milk the government out of millions of dollars. We don't call the police, we call the coroner. I love it. Yeah, that should be, I should get that sign. I've seen that sign. I had beard. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think I'm driving my van to Mumbai to meet him. Oh, and the fraud is going to be in the tens of trillions. It's going to be huge. My God, all they've done is look at one state so far, and they're pecking at 3 more. And in every single place they look, there's fraud. Every time a bell rings. I don't know why it reminded me of that, but that's what I just reminded myself of. Oh, wow, okay. Sanguine, I didn't know about that. I'll look that up. Yeah, everything's race. This thing in the UK, the riots, race. It's all race. What's going on there is a Muslim stabbed a white guy to death, and while the white guy was sitting there trying to hold the blood in his gut, the police showed up and asked what happened. And the Muslim told the police, that guy was harassing me, that guy was racially harassing me. And so they walked over and handcuffed the guy that was trying to keep his gut from bleeding. He's dead now. Those cops should both be jailed. But the truth is, it's not necessarily the cops. It's the system. It's systemic over there. The Muslims are running the UK. They got no-go zones. They got their own police. It's such a shit show right now. We can't let that shit show happen here. Yeah, he got along, I think's why he died so quick. Yeah, the Irish are done. And I'll tell you, the Irish will reach a point where they'll push back. Yeah, that's true. What they call a fascist is a fiscally responsible patriot. That's what that means. Fascist. It means fiscally responsible patriot. Because if you care about us spending too much money, you're a fascist. If you think we should stop giving away all this money, you're a fascist. Anyway. All right, guys. I think I'm about done. Is there anything else? I'm watching the chat room. We've had a great chat tonight with our troll. We've got great numbers tonight. I really appreciate it. Had well over 700 people come through tonight. It's good numbers. I guess he left. I'm hoping he's ordering that pizza. I'm gonna stay up for a while. Because I'm sure it's gonna come, right? I'm sure he's got my address, right? It's the house with the boat next to it. Oh my God. All right, our storm chasers are all signing off. The storms have started to calm down. We do still have a number of severe thunderstorm warnings, and currently 1 tornado warning right here. It's going to be right near Devil's Lake, and that's up in North Dakota near the national line up there. We've got a pretty strong thunderstorm heading into Devil's Lake. And I think they just let that one expire right while we were looking at it. That's going to be a fairly powerful line of thunderstorms coming through. Yeah, I mean, this is what's going on, guys. You know, you go to Dearborn, the cops are marked in Arabic. Their patches on their sleeve are in Arabic. They call it Dearborn. It's Dearborn. Welcome to Dearborn. Dearborn. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that's not the one in the UK. That's the other one we were talking about, right? But yeah, it's still the same thing. Yeah, I think it's going to get crazy over there. All right, guys. Well, I welcome you all. I'm glad you guys were all here tonight. Yeah, they don't like calling things terrorism over there because it brings up more unrest. It is a disgusting world out there, I'll tell you. But we have to just keep our chin up, you know? You got to fight the good fight. That's what I do. I come on here every night and I fight the good fight. If one person heard me tonight and took something I said to heart, it's good enough. I think some people learned about the Lincoln Project tonight. I don't think he expected that response, do you? Come in here saying, I'm a member of the Lincoln Project. Really? I mean, that's like raising your hand and saying, I'm stupid. Whatever. I think he was just saying that, though. I think he said that to convince me that he was a conservative and didn't realize that that was not a conservative organization. Just because it's got the word Lincoln in the title, Lincoln wouldn't piss on that mess if it was on fire. Every show needs a bad guy. I agree. Yeah, I think so. That pizza still hasn't arrived yet. Did you order that pizza? Are you still out there? Where's my pizza? You told him it was the house with the boat, right? No pizza for me. I'm so sad now. I really wanted pizza.
I must have drank me about 15 Dr. Peppers.
I must have had me about 15 of them Dr. Peppers. And of course, my favorite.
Sometimes I guess there just aren't enough rocks.
That was the biggest piece of wisdom in that movie right there, by the way. That's a piece of wisdom right there. Sometimes we're so frustrated, there's just not enough rocks. And here's that woman again! Ugh. There's got to be a way to modify OBS to not play the next video. Yeah, he's gone to bed. Well, it's probably like 5 in the morning in his country. So... All right, everybody. I'm going to call it. I do appreciate everybody being in here. We've been on for coming up on 2.5 hours tonight. It was a good show. Lots of folks coming in. I really do appreciate it. You guys are awesome. It wouldn't be a show without you guys. That's what's great about interactive broadcasting. Yep. Hold on before we go. Just give me 1 second. want to show you guys something. Look at this. Little baby. This is a mama cat we adopted, had this one. She's getting fixed now. But this particular one right here, the other two are a little feral. I'm working on them. This one right here loves people. You can just tell when a cat loves people. There's certain cats, like this, like Mama Kitty, she was completely feral. The moment I won her over, she was like an amazing cat. That happens if they're a people cat. Some cats will never be a people cat. Yeah, he was here and he lived up to his name again. Come here. Look at this little tyke. Isn't he amazing? Isn't he amazing? He's gonna be good. I'm gonna probably keep him. He's just such a good cat. And he loves people. He gets a little overwhelmed because he's young. But he loves people, don't you? Don't you love people? Huh? Yeah. You're gonna look at the camera? Cats don't get the concept of cameras, huh? But yeah, that's a little one. I knew he was out there. I wanted to go grab him real quick. Yeah, Nasty's a member of the Lincoln Project. What a scam. Isn't that right, kitty? And what's funny is I brought this one in here. When I go out, the mama will be sitting right outside the door waiting for me to bring it out. Oh. The Lincoln Log Project. Yeah, there you go. I don't think he expected me to tear it up like that. But I love talking about the Lincoln Project, just like the American Civil Liberties Union. These are all crazy left-wing organizations. What you looking for? Probably gonna take me off the air on the keyboard. Yep. Yeah, God, it was hot today. I think we got up to 96 or something today. It was terrible. I can't stand the heat. I can't take it. Oh, I just hate it. All right, everybody. I'm going to go before the cat takes me off the air here. You're all over the keyboard. It takes... One of the hardest things to teach cats is to not get on the damn keyboard. That's like one of the hardest things to teach them. All right, guys. I'm going to let you go. Everybody have a good night out there. My name's Ian. This is StarShip Adventures. We'll be back again tonight. Tomorrow night. It's not quite midnight yet, so we'll say tomorrow night. Tomorrow night we'll be back on again at 9 o'clock, but 9:30 tomorrow night. I will be on at 9:30 tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Thursday, 9:30 on Friday. So please remember that programming note. 9:30 tomorrow, 9 o'clock on Thursday, 9:30 on Friday, and then everything returns to normal after that. Trey comes back, and I go back to my normal shift. Yeah, but I'm working on it. Oh, I like Lincoln Logs. I had Lincoln Logs when I was a kid. And then I had a cat that laid such big turds in the litter box that I started calling him Lincoln Logs. Oh my God. It looked like a downed tree. Oh, he's gone now. Scooter, God rest his soul. I love that cat. But he was big, and he used to lay these Lincoln Logs, man. There won't be any Sharia law in Florida. In fact, our governor has already signed executive orders preventing anything doing that down here. It's not allowed. we're American down here, and that's it. None of this bullshit. All right, everybody. Big shit Scooter. Yeah, he was. What a great cat. What a great cat. My grandmother called me one day. My grandmother, who is an old soul, she was an amazing woman, and she called me one day, and she said, she called my mother, and she said, call Ian and tell him to come pick up his new cat. I'd never discussed getting a cat with this woman. So my mother calls me, and my mother's like, Granny's got your new cat. You can go pick it up. I have no idea what she's talking about. What are you talking about? So we clarified the whole thing. My grandmother saw this cat laying on the side of a dirt road out in the middle of nowhere. It had been dumped out by her house. She lived way out in the country. And this cat was dumped by her house. She drove past it. She stopped. She walked back. It let her pick it right up. She brought it home. It was way too far from a home to be somebody's cat. Brought it home, little kitten, little, maybe just slightly older than that other one, the one I just showed you, which I don't have a name for yet. And maybe we'll name him one night in the chat room. That would be fun. But anyway, so Scooter, I went and picked him up, and he took to me right away. He was my best friend for 17 years, man. He was so good. He was my boy. Yep. Yeah, cats can read people. What's funny is I got a cat named Ed. If he finds out you don't like cats, he is suddenly your best friend. I'm not lying. Eddie's like that. You know Ed, the gray one? If he like VTX comes down and stays here sometimes, and VTX is allergic to cats, doesn't hang around cats, doesn't dislike them, he just doesn't do cats. And that cat has made it its business to friend him. Anytime he's here, it follows him around. It tries to get in the bedroom with him. Ed wants to be with him all the time. Loves that guy. And Ed must realize he's not a cat person, you know. But that's the way some cats are. Other cats just like to find people that they just love humans. And that's what this one is. This cat just loves humans. Yep. Good night, everybody. All right, we'll see you guys later. Everybody, have a good night, and we'll be back tomorrow night. Same bat time, same batshit crazy channel. Oh, God. Yeah, we'll see you guys later. A short song, and then we'll do the closer. We'll see you guys later. Have a good night out there. We'll see you tomorrow. 9:30 tomorrow. 9:30. Late start tomorrow. I'll put up a note to remind you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody. This is the Sights and Sounds of Earth right here on StarShip Adventures. And you guys have a great night out there. My name's Ian. Have a safe tomorrow.
Well, dawn broke early on February 28. Trump gave the word, no more waiting at the gate. U.S. and Israel, side by side in the fight, launched them strikes deep into the Iranian night. Targeting the mullahs, the press and their crew, nuking their nukes before they could brew. Tehran shaking with explosions in the air, smoke rising high, showing we mean business there. God bless America. God bless America. Trump at the helm, we're riding the wave, kicking ass when we must, no apologies here. Iran's regime's done, their end is near. they won't break our steel. U.S. and Israel making the bad guys kneel. Trump's calling the shots, urging folks to rise up, overthrow the tyrants, fill freedom's cup. Trump's message rings out, your freedom's at hand. To the Iranian people, take back your land. We hit their leaders, Supreme and the rest. Joint ops with Israel, putting them to the test. They fight back wild at bases in our alley, but our defenses hold under that Middle East sky. No more hiding threats, no more playing games. Trump's bringing justice in America's name. God bless America, land of the free and brave. With Trump at the helm, we're riding the wave, kicking ass when we must, no apologies here. Iran's regime's done, their end is near. Missiles fly back, but they won't break our steel. U.S. and Israel making the bad guys kneel. From the Gulf to the skies, the world's watching now. Trump standing tall, showing them how. No endless wars, but when push comes to shove, we protect our own with strength from above. Iran's retaliation, just desperate flails, while our forces strike true, tipping the scales for peace through power. That's the American way. Trump's leading the charge, saving the day. God bless America. God bless America, land of the free and brave. Land of the free and brave. With Trump at the helm, we're riding the wave, kicking ass when we must, no apologies here. Iran's regime done, their end is near. Missiles fly back, but they won't break our steel. U.S. and Israel making the bad guys kneel.
This is the YouTube channel StarShip Adventures, broadcasting live from StarShip Studios in North Fort Myers, Florida, in the United States of America. We thank you for joining us this evening for another broadcast of the Sights and Sounds of Earth, covering every breaking news story across this troubled planet of ours. We brought you the raw, unfiltered pulse of the world in real time through our unique multi-screen format, broadcasting in high definition worldwide via fiber optic connection. StarShip Adventures, a new kind of YouTube content. To our regular viewers, our loyal crew members, our amazing moderators, and everyone who tunes in each night at 9 p.m. Eastern, we thank you. Your support keeps this independent voice alive and well. We'll be back tomorrow evening at 9 p.m. Eastern with another live edition of the Sights and Sounds of Earth, right here on StarShip Adventures. Until then, stay safe, stay informed, and may God bless you and these United States of America. This is StarShip Adventures, and this concludes our broadcast day. Good night, America, and around the world. Kilo Oscar 4, Echo Foxtrot Sierra. Signing off. QSY, 7 3s, everyone, 7 3s.